So, over the past couple of weeks on Sunday nights on ITV2, we have been invited into the lives of groups of friends who have all been given the opportunity for the best weekend of their lifetime in Magaluf. One person who is there to make sure that the guests have the best time is Jordan Davies, a rep at the hotel that the group stay at. Jordan joins me now to talk about the Magaluf Weekender. Good afternoon, Jordan.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Good, not too bad.
So, for those that don't watch the show, what is the Magaluf Weekender?
The Magaluf Weekender, basically what it is two groups of young people. They come out and it's their first holiday abroad, obviously, and our job as reps then is to basically give them the best time they can have over their experience there, basically.
And what made you want to be a holiday rep?
Well, I was working in Magaluf anyway, but I also fancied to change, so I thought I'd just give it a try, and it was amazing, to be fair. It wasn't anything like I was expecting it to be, but obviously, you know, it's a lot longer hours, like, it's a lot more demanding. You've got to obviously take a job a lot more seriously compared to the jobs in Magaluf, but yeah, I'm glad I done it with quality.
So how did you get involved in the show? And also, when you're on the show, are you doing your normal job and other stuff, or is it literally just doing your job but you've just got cameras all around you at the same time? How does the TV kind of translate into your normal working job in Magaluf?
Well, I got initially found on Facebook, first of all, because I had an email saying, I'm thinking about doing a new series for ITV, if you'd be interested. Obviously, you think it's obviously fake because you get them all the time. But Potluck Chan, she gave my number, then I had a phone call from a girl called Emma, and she asked me loads of questions. I was like, right, okay, this is actually real now. So I had 2 phone call interviews, because all the interviews were in London, but I was obviously in Magaluf, so it was completely different from me anyway. So then I had two Skype calls, because they only see me on Facebook, and then they rang me, they were like, well, can you Skype you? I was like, yeah, and they were like, oh, you're actually alright looking. I was like, no, it was a bit of a sort of compliment, but not really. And then eight of the production team flew out to meet me, and I was like, I've pretty much got it now. And then they rang me a week later saying, you've got it. But like we were actually doing the job itself, like we were actually working in the hotel, and like with the cameras there, like obviously the first few days you recognise, then you do actually tend to forget them, which is really weird because you wouldn't think you would, because they're always in your face and stuff, but you do forget about them, which is when, like, you know, you say some stuff and it's like, oh dear, like I shouldn't have really said that's going to be coming out really. So
which is most of the things that you kind of do say on the show.
Yeah, basically. So
I do want to talk to you a little bit about your little number of people you've slept with, but I want to get that a bit later. So let's talk about you as a rep. So what's your kind of role on the show? And you aren't the kind of most organised and reliable rep, so what made you want to be the leader of doing things like bar crawls?
Well, because I've got the most experience in Magaluf, they obviously wanted me to obviously basically show and basically do all the bar crawls mainly, but obviously you can see that doesn't always turn out to be the best ideas, because when I've had a few too many drinks, I always tend to, with a female guest, tend to focus on them really rather than the bar crawl.
And that might even be, viewers, not even just focusing on them as in, come on guys, let's go on a bar crawl, but I'm going to stick to this female. It's literally, I'm going to stick to this female, go back to the hotel, you can go on the bar crawl.
Well, you know, it's not like, I'm quite known for doing stuff like that really, because, you know, like, although I'm in Magaluf, that's like a main focus out there really, but yeah, I don't mean to do it, to leave the back. Obviously, you know, it's old habits taking over really. I just can't help it by just forgetting about the groups mainly and focusing on one particular guest really at certain times on the back rolls.
And you're not the only rep. You've got Amy and Imogen you work with. Imogen you've had a bit of history with, and then you've got Brett. What's it like being part of the team, and what's Brett like as a head rep? Because he's very chilled. Although he likes his authority, he is very, very chilled with you.
Yeah. To be honest, like with Imogen, obviously we knew each other before, so obviously when we Imogen, we've got quite a close bond and stuff, which is good.
In more ways than others.
Well, yeah, in some ways you could say that. But yeah, so me and Imogen do get on really well, and we do relate to each other a lot more than, like, obviously Jamie and Brett, because Jamie and Brett related to each other a lot more, and me and Imogen did. But Brett as a head, he is quite laid back, which helps, because obviously you can't be too strict out there, and he does let us get away with quite a lot, to be fair. Although we get put on drinking bans quite a lot, he is quite lenient with stuff like that with the guests, which is good, to be honest, because I don't think I'd be able to handle it otherwise really. If he was really strict, I probably would get sacked straight away. So it is good that he's quite lenient with it all.
And let's talk about you and Imogen for a second. So you've had this rollercoaster relationship like since the beginning of the series, and you did sleep with her, and then you were friends, and then there's all the jealousy thing. And if we look at other programs like this, such as Geordie Shore, we've got Gaz and Charlotte. How do you think? Have you been told you're like Gaz and Charlotte before? And where do you kind of stand? And how are you and Imogen now?
Well, me and Imogen do get compared to Gaz and Charlotte quite a lot, because we knew each other before, we good mates, and we've slept together like a few times and stuff. But like, obviously she did get a little bit jealous, because obviously because we didn't really work together, we didn't see each other as much. But once we were working together, I think that's what annoyed her a little bit more, because we were together so much, and like she was seeing me get with other people, which probably did annoy her a little bit and stuff like that, and bring on the jealousy thing. But like now, me and Imogen, we're just really good mates. Like we speak to each other pretty much every day. So it is good that we've still kept our friendship, even though we've been through so much together.
And in January, so this month, we've had Cavos Uncovered, we've had Sun Sex and Suspicious Parents, and the Magaluf Weekender. Why do you think these shows are so popular?
I think this time of year they're so popular because everyone can relate to them for a start, because obviously all young people go abroad anyway. And it's like, 'cause this is the perfect time, because obviously everyone's looking about booking holidays or where to go and stuff. So obviously, like, with bringing these shows, that helps promote each destination. So obviously with we're now promoting Magaluf and stuff, like hopefully it'll spark people on to go to Magaluf, hopefully. So I think that's why they become so popular over this time of the year.
And obviously Magaluf has got that reputation, which you can't say on air now. Whereas someone like, I went to Cavos and it was very kind of much more relaxed. I watched these programs like, what? I would never do that. But do the guests mind the cameras? Because Magaluf has got that reputation of doing certain activities. So do the guests mind having the cameras?
They don't mind them until the point where, like, it gets a bit more serious. Like, say when they get with people, that's when they do really tend to, like, get annoyed with the cameras, because they'll mention, like, oh, I wish the cameras weren't here and stuff like that. But obviously, you know,
can they do anything about that, though? What are their rights about it?
There's nothing they can do. Like, so they sign in the contract, they have to be filmed 24/7. So, like, there's nothing they can do. Like, they just have to put up with it, basically. It's like, if you want to do it, then you just got to do it, because the cameras are there. So a lot of times they won't be happy about some of the stuff. They probably look back and think, oh, I should have done it. Like, it happens whilst you're out there. It's just like the heat of the moment. But yeah, they aren't too keen on the cameras and stuff like that, but they just have to live with it, basically.
And what's been the best moment for you on the show?
To be honest, throughout the show, it's always pretty amazing, but probably my best moment was Gianni when he got with a, well, not, I wouldn't say woman, more man. Because, yeah, whatever you want to call it. Because obviously...
Go on.
No, because he didn't realise, obviously. And at the time, we could all tell. And we were like, how he doesn't know, we don't know. Because he claims he was really drunk, but he wasn't as pissed as he says he was. So, you know, obviously that just made a massive factor on it. Like, he was just trying to, like, double back on himself. But, like, it was just so funny to watch. And just, obviously, and all we did then was just rip into him for the rest of his holiday then, basically. And it was just hilarious.
Well, he's such a nice guy. I mean, he's my mate's neighbour, and I've played poker with him and stuff, and he is genuinely a nice guy. So
yeah.
And if you could do something different on the show, what would it be? Or because you've got that reputation, would you really want to have this womenizer reputation, and you would like that at home as well?
Back home, I'm pretty much exactly the same as I am. To be honest, I'm not gonna lie. Like I haven't changed at all, because you know, like it's not the best of reputations to have. But it's just like I'm not going to change really because of it, because I just enjoy it too much. Like I do enjoy getting all this attention, and like when girls do come on to me and stuff, I do love it, because it just makes me feel a bit better about myself anyway.
And what's your family friends thought about your womanizing portrayal? Are they happy with that, or?
My friends sort of knew what I was like anyway, but when their family come round to it, my mum and grandparents were all a bit shocked. So, like, cause obviously I didn't tell them about it.
Yeah.
And then they've obviously seen adverts. They'd be like, oh, he's on the telly. And I'm like, oh, nightmare, they're going to find out. So they've gone and told all their friends and family to watch it as well. And then they rang me. After the first episode, they rang me and they were just so like, I can't believe you. And I was like, well, so I didn't tell you about it, because I didn't want you to see what I was actually like. So they see me as like a golden child, where as I'm deaf, you can clearly see I'm not. And they're all just a bit shocked. But they're coming around to it now. After a few weeks have gone past, they're getting used to it now. So yeah, it's all good.
And what are your lasting impressions of being part of the show?
Last impression, well, it was an unbelievable experience. Like I definitely 100% want to do it again. Like there's nothing like, well, I changed one of two things. Like maybe like some of the comments I made towards the girls. I didn't mean them as the way they came across. I did only mean them in a joking way. But obviously they've taken them to the extreme, which they, you know, wasn't really as planned. But like, yeah, it was an unbelievable experience. I'd just love to do it all over again.
And have you kept in contact with any of the girls?
I've kept in contact with Zoe. I've spoke to Bex a bit, but as the other guests go, you just haven't really spoken to any more of them, really, to be honest. Like the one in this week's episode now, you'll see that after what happens, there's a bit of drama, so I can't really give too much away, but you'll realise why she doesn't speak to me anymore.
Well, we know there's Essex Gods coming to it. We know the Essex Gods have got reputation. We do know that you've got close to one girl. Well, it's on the synopsis that you've got close to one girl. What can you tell us about this week?
Well, this week is mayhem, basically. I see this one's probably the best one yet, because it's got everything. It's got girls on girls, boys on boys, me on a girl, which is no surprise. Strip shows, like big nights out, because we go out with them every single night this week as well. It's not just the first night, we go out with them every single night. And it's obviously the reps last night as well, all together, so we all go on a mad one as well. And there's just arguments, and it's mayhem from start to finish, really, with this week's episode.
And can we be seeing a series 2 next summer?
There are talks ITV now, and it's done a lot better than what they've expected. So they are looking into it at the minute, and maybe series 3 as well. Don't want to give too much away. So yeah, they are looking into it, so it's looking promising.
Okay, and finally, you stated last Sunday night that you've slept with 250 girls. Is this true?
Well...
Were you exaggerating for the TV, for people to go, look, I'm Jordan Davies, and look how many people I've slept with? Give us the real number. How many people have you slept with?
I can't give that away. You know, a gentleman never reveals.
A gentleman never reveals. But are you a gentleman, though? What you've done in Magaluf? How many people have you slept with?
I can't say that, but I wouldn't say I'm not a gentleman to put that way, but a gentleman never tells. But I'm not a gentleman, so.
Would you say it's more than 100?
Well,
you knew this was going to come. You knew that as soon as you said that, you're going to get blasted by the media for saying you slept 250 people. Is it more than 50? Is it even in double figures? Well, it must be double figures.
I'll just say it's a fair few, put it that way.
A fair few. Well, let's go. That was less than 50, so that's a quarter of what you'd actually originally said.
I'm not giving anything away, but it's a lot more than what people expecting, probably, put it that way.
Oh, God. More than 250?
I can't say.
Oh, my God, Jordan. Okay, well, to see what the groups get up to in the last episode of the series, which we're very sad to see, and to see if Imogen and Jordan can keep their hands off each other, which probably won't happen due to these Essex girls are coming along, watch the last episode of the Magaluf Weekend on ITV2 on Sunday night at 9 p.m. Thank you so much, Jordan.
Cheers. Thank you very much.
Cheers, mate. Bye.